How can you get a business off the ground with no money? Well, I like to call it the secret. Let me share the secret with you. Let the secret be your edge. So, you likely have a nice job which delivers a hefty paycheck with some regularity. And that job requires you to work 40 hours a week. But there are 168 hours in a week. And even after you take off time for eating and sleeping and commuting, you still have at least another 40 or 50 hours during which you could do a second job. And that second job can be your startup. And that is what I did. In 1990, when I was 25 years old, I had no money in the bank. I used to work on my startup for 1 or 2 hours in the morning before I went to work. And after I came back from work until midnight, I again worked on my startup. I was single. I spent all my weekends working on my startup, gave me long, uninterrupted hours. I used to eat a Subway sandwich every day for dinner. Life was great. And anytime I had a client meeting, I used to take a day off as a vacation day and go meet the client. And after 10 months of doing this, I had my first 2 clients and I resigned. And my boss, he took it in good stride. He tried to get me to stay, which I turned down. And then he offered that I could come back anytime after my business failed. And I would get significantly more money and I'd have my same position back. And so I thought, well, this is fantastic, because if things don't work out, I don't need to look for another job. I can just come back here and I'm making more money. What a country. I have to admit, I had 2 venture capitalists who backed me to the tune of $70,000. I loved my 2 VCs. They never took any board seats. They never tried to give me any advice on how to run my business. They did not even take an equity stake in my company. My 2 VCs were called Visa and MasterCard. And about a year after I quit my job, I met a wonderful banker who set me up with a low-cost line of credit. And I said goodbye to my 2 VCs. And about 4 years after that, we were recognized as an Inc. 500 company, one of the 500 fastest growing businesses in the United States. And that is the secret. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. And if your business does not compete with your employer, you can keep your full-time job and get your business off the ground. The fatal mistake is to quit, try to live off your savings, and spend your time chasing VCs. The way I went about it, I had no pressure. It did not matter if it took 3 months or 6 months or 18 months to get the business off the ground. The cash was coming in, the rent was current, life was good.